And welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have a beer from Cinderlands Brewing Company out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have not done any reviews for these guys on this channel yet. I've actually only been to the brewery once, and I liked what I had, but I was only there like for half an hour. I only got to try a couple samples, and that was it. I think this is the second canning release they did. I think they did something in the same realm, but so what this is called Test Piece. It's an IPA brew. It's a single hopped IPA brewed specifically with Mosaic. I think the first one they did was Citra, but my buddy who gave me all the Dancing Gnome cans, said he thought it was really good. So I'm pretty excited for it. And I do think what I had from them when I was there, that the hoppy stuff was probably the best stuff. Other than they had a really nice coffee stout too, but I thought the hoppy stuff and the coffee stout were better than like the sour stuff they had. So I'm hoping that this lives up to what he was saying and up to the standards that the Pittsburgh beer scene has for hoppy beers, because with Dancing Gnome and Brew Gentleman leading the way, and even Grist House doing some really nice stuff. Roundabout doesn't package, but they do great hoppy beers. There's a lot of competition, so I'm hoping this is comparable. Like I said, this is a single hop Mosaic, and it's also it's 7.8 ABV, so almost into that double IPA range. For most breweries, you know, the minimum for double IPA is 8. There we go. So as you can see, this pours a fairly hazy, darker golden color with a nice, pretty fluffy white head. It's not really going anywhere. Oh, that smells nice. Some hops can handle single hopped beers. Some can't, in my opinion. Some of them are just a little too abrasive or too weird to be on their own. They need to be with other things. But to me, Mosaic hops have a pretty big complexity in and of themselves, and they definitely can take to being single hopped, in my opinion, even more than Citra. I mean, Citra's really good in single hop beers too, but it's kind of one dimensional. I think Mosaic probably has the most complex flavors as just one hop than any other hop. So I would say Mosaic and Simcoe are probably the two most when it comes to that. I mean, so this has like that light blueberry character. A little bit of dank notes, and then a little like juicy, overripened pineapple too. It's cool to have, in my opinion. It's cool to have a single hop Mosaic beer, because when I smell it and I taste it, I'm like, wow, this smells like a combination of different hops. But that's how complex Mosaic is in and of itself. So, yeah, this smells really nice. That is really good. I love Mosaic beer, so that's why. I shouldn't say that's why. It's a good beer, but that's definitely a driver. So I will say, for being 7.8, it is almost a little, just a tiny, tiny bit syrupy. Very, 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 very minimal complaint. But that, you know, when I drink something, the first thing that comes to my mind is what I don't like about it. I guess maybe that's just being negative, but if you're going to critique something, like, that's what you need to pull out first, and then, you know, get to the good stuff. So that would be probably my only negative. The bitterness is completely in balance. Same with the sweetness. I think it's perfect for what the style is. Uh, so I just had the Mosaic Jam from Dancing Gnome not too long ago. I did a review of that. And this, to me, is actually really, really similar to that. It's not... this is probably a little less juicy, but not quite as bitter. But the hop profile of the Mosaic hops in it was completely full spectrum of what I get out of Mosaic in both of the beers, which I really appreciate. It's like a nice... There's a little bit of that... A little bit of like sweat socky cat pee character, which I do like into Mosaic, but then it's a little bit dank. A little like blueberry and lemon limey fruity character. And then it finishes with this like almost rotting cat pee, like whatever. That sounds terrible, but they're all balanced. This like rotting's probably too far on the edge of it, but over-ripened pineapple is usually where the finish I get on Mosaic beers. But it just has such a unique... And now I'm really trying to think of... of what Mosaic is. Because it's a crossbreed between two... pretty well-known old school but like juicier old school hops. I could be wrong. This might be Citra, but I think it's Mosaic. I think it's a cross between Simcoe and TMZ. Did I just say TMZ? That's not right. CTZ, yeah, CTZ, yeah, which is, I'm trying to think. Tomahawk, Zeus, and I forget what the C is. But apparently they're all like almost exactly the same hop and they're interchangeable. Tomahawk is like a really big player in Nugget Nectar, if you guys are familiar with that. So it's definitely more of like a piney character, and so is Simcoe. But it's so if I am right in that, and I'm gonna look it up after I do this video, but it's kind of odd because neither one of those, to me, necessarily have like a real juicy character to them. But I always describe Mosaic as like a dirtier, juicier, less well-rounded, but more at the same time more flavorful version of Citra. And I mean, Simcoe is my favorite hop, so it would also make sense that would be in this because I really love Mosaic too. It's probably my second favorite. Yeah, this is really, really good. I'm really happy my buddy got me this because now just adds another brewery to my list that I have to try to hit up if they have a release while I'm up in Pittsburgh. So this is nice. This is better than a lot of stuff around here and stuff in Pittsburgh. I really like this, but I'm a sucker for Mosaic, so it's part of it too. But anyways, I don't know what this cost. I think this was a little cheaper than like some of the other like Dancing Gnome stuff because it's first or second release. I think it was like 16, 17. I would absolutely buy this again. Really, really good stuff. So be on the lookout for them, and they're actually expanding into this huge building, so they might, if they start pumping out cans more than they are now, they might actually get a little bit of a following like Dancing Gnome or Brew Gentleman. So yeah, this is really nice. So I would absolutely buy this again. So please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.